So in my last Vuex tutorial, I had a lot of comments asking if I could go more in depth into getters using the Vuex store. And this is actually a really good topic that to cover, because with getters, the main thing you can think of using getters for is almost as if it were a computed property, but for the entire project. So in Vue, every component has the ability to have a computed property. And in a Vuex store, you can define these getters. And what the getters do is they watch the state that normally you declare, right above the getters or wherever in that file. And as that state changes, the getters can behave as that computed property so that it updates the components that this store touches throughout the entire project. So, for example, what we're going to code up right now, if we have a state that keeps track of a certain count, right? Let's say it's a shopping cart item or something like that, and there's a certain amount of there's a counting aspect to it. What the getter could do is keep an eye on that count, and then if the count's even, it can say is even, or if it's odd, it can say is odd. And in the Vuex Vue test utils docs under the Vuex section, this is the example that they gave, and I think this is a really great example. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what this looks like in code. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the getters.spec file here, and let's import getters. We haven't created this function yet, but this is TDD. And from here, we'll just say test, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to call our getter odd or even. And odd or even will return even if the state.count is even. And then right here, we can go ahead and declare the state, and it's going to be an object that has a property of count, and this count's going to be 2, just so that it's even. And then we can assert down here that getters.odd or even, let's see, yeah, if we pass in state, this is we can say to be even. So let's go ahead and run this test now. So I'll just say npm run test. There we go, npm run test, and it's failing. That's good. The one test that's passing, that's the logo, so we don't need to worry about that. And now let's go ahead and write our implementation. So we'll open up getters.js, and let's export our getter here called odd or even. And odd or even is going to take the state, and then from the state .count, we're going to go ahead and let's check. We'll modulus it by 2, and if that's equal to 0, we know it's even. So we can return even here, and then otherwise it's going to be odd. So else odd, and this should now make our test pass. So let's run those tests, and there you go, it's passing. So now I'm going to go back into our spec file here, and basically we just need to do the same thing for odd. And so right down here below, we'll just copy paste, and we can just change even to odd. And so right here, we'll also just say odd, state.count is odd, and then change it to a 1. And from here, let's see, yeah, this needs to be odd. Okay, so cross our fingers. If everything's gone well, we'll run our test, and this should all be passing.